Good evening, all. Thank you for joining us at the Vodacom Blue Bulls post-match presser. With us, Vodacom Bulls head coach Jake White. The floor is now open for questions.
Hi, Jake. Bad luck there. I guess the second half is a lesson for the guys in just how quickly momentum can change and how difficult it can be to get it back once it has.
Yeah, exactly that, Ken. I mean, I thought, as I said, the first half, we were on a hell of a roll. I thought we were putting them under pressure. I think we got 13 penalties in the first half awarded to us. And then it's almost like the second half, once they got onto a bit of a roll, they just, obviously took their chance. I mean, once we got a yellow card, I think they scored 3 tries in that time. So, I'm not blaming anybody. That's what sport does, Ken. We've been on a nice roll. We're getting, we got some great results. And sometimes when you're not on top of your game, you can obviously be on the receiving end of a result like that.
Jake, how much of that yellow card has influenced the eventual loss? Because it was really touch and go if you really scored any points in the second half. You did, but obviously the card has had some kind of an influence.
Yeah, Simon, it definitely had an influence. I think when they had a yellow card, we probably didn't exploit it as well as we should have. And when we got a yellow card and we were one man short, they obviously, took advantage of that. So, as I said, it's sport. I just said to the players, that's one of the fantastic things about being involved in a game like this is that you get these moments and you learn from them. If we're not winning, we're learning. We're gonna have to play the Sharks again, I'm sure, this season. If we want to win the trophy, we're going to have to, obviously play them again and might even be here again. So, good lesson for us. Not always a pleasant lesson, but, we'll learn.
Jake, another interesting phenomenon is that you guys seem to not lose at Loftus. They don't seem to lose in Durban.
Yeah, it's not quite true. I think we beat them last time we were here. So, it's, I think anyone who plays at home tries to pride themselves with their home ground. But, it's always difficult. As I said, always difficult place for teams to play. So all credit to them.
Jake, how much of a factor was the rolling mauls that the Sharks really seem to defend your mauls extremely well? Is it all credit to the Sharks there, or were you a bit unhappy with how you guys executed?
Yeah, Ken, obviously I thought then they got into our 22 that one time. They scored a maul try. We probably had 1 or 2 chances in the beginning. We never took them. They stopped them really well. As I said, 13 penalties in the first half. I think we tried to build a bit of pressure there, in hindsight, and it's always easy in hindsight, maybe taking the 3 points on the end of the half maybe would have been. But if we'd kicked it out and scored our third try and created a bit more pressure as we had done the first half, then I would be sitting here saying, great result. So, yeah, Ken, it's always easy in hindsight. I think they stopped the mauls quite well. They obviously got a lot of reward at the breakdown. I think often they were, obviously loaded the breakdowns and they got a lot of reward there, slaying a lot of the ball up. But, that, as I said, that's a learning curve for us and a bit of a learn on for us next time we play them. And I'm sure we will. If we don't play them in this year, we're definitely going to play them in the United Rugby Championships.
Jake, you guys were on a roll that first 10 to 15 minutes, and you were constantly in the 22. You kicked a couple of penalties to the touch, and all of a sudden you decided to go for the 3 points to get the 10. Do you feel that broke a bit of your momentum there, and things could have been different if you stayed that side?
Maybe, Leighton, maybe. As I said, it's easy in hindsight. Maybe we would have built more pressure and got a yellow card. But I think, it's also, I suppose, looking at the fatigue element of a team. You can't just maul, and then carry on, scrumming or mauling. You need to sometimes also just get your breath back. So, I have full confidence in Marcel and in Johan Goosen to decide whether or not they should take, the scrum or take a maul or take the 3 points. So, as I said, in hindsight, it's easy now to say, maybe we should have kept our foot down there. But, hey, that's why I said we'll learn.
Jake, you speak about lessons you need to take or you will learn from this game. You want to elaborate a bit on what those, I'm not expecting you to give state secrets away, but what are those things that you will look at, areas you will look at?
I think the most important thing, Jan, is just that to understand when there's pressure cycles. We were building pressure, and I think we probably, as I said, we probably didn't learn or understand that we had them, by the throat. And even half time, as I said, I felt that we knew they would come back at us, and they did. Credit to them, they did. I thought the attack was really good tonight. I mean, they scored, I think it's one of the teams that scored the most tries against us, and a lot of them were, from great handling skills and obviously interaction between forwards and backs. So, yeah, I mean, it's not easy when you lose, Jan. I mean, but we've enjoyed great success as a group since we've been together, and this is just an example of us having to look at ways. You only understand pressure, and you only understand those sort of pressure cycles when you're on the field. I mean, I looked at a guy like Jan-Hendrik Wessels today. So. The youngster, it's his first time he's played hooker in a senior Currie Cup game. And I mean, other than the first line out, he was outstanding. And that's the way he's going to learn. You're going to have to put him in those pressure situations and get him to come through the other side.
Jack, speaking of the scrums, you must be satisfied with how it went, especially your defensive scrums also went exceptionally well. But sometimes you could get the image, and the way that I saw it, the Sharks were really on the forefoot as far as the defensive part of the scrums. Although you dominated in the scrums, they were on the forefoot, and they brought the attack to you very successfully.
Yeah, Simon, I mean, I'm very happy with the scrums, considering we lost Grobbies. I mean, Grobbies was obviously our starting hooker, and he's had a lot of time in that combination. So to have Skalk and Jan-Hendrik come on and change the combination, it's a young, and I'm talking about time-wise, combination that we're putting together. So to get a reward like that, I thought we scrummed really well. Obviously, second half, when they made some changes, they were a little bit more solid. But, yeah, I mean, it's not an area of the game that I think we let ourselves down. I think generally as a scrum, I'm quite satisfied.
Gents, due to the curfew, there's time for 2 more questions.
Jacob, just speaking about those combinations, are we likely to see Stedman and Cornell reuniting in the midfield? Are you pondering on those, the two of them playing next to Johan? What does the prospects look like?
Yeah, Leighton, I mean, obviously I am. I mean, I think that combination has been really successful for us in the past as well, So, I mean, he's just got back from sevens, and he's still slotting in, and there's obviously a couple of things we have changed since he's been away. But yeah, I mean, I look at that combination. I think it's not just about the next week or two. It's about from now until the end of United Rugby Championships, when we have to continue playing, week in and week out. So the more chances I get to try different combinations, the more chances I get to see combinations that are probably used already and see whether or not we can reignite them. Then I will look at that later.
Final question. Are there any? Thank you very much, Jake, for your time. Thank you, media. We'll log on in the next 2 minutes.
Thanks all. Cheers.
To the Sharks presser.
Vashni?
Yes.
We must use different login details for the Sharks, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.